What is up, y'all? We are back with another episode of my Giants rebuild. This is Madden 23. As you may remember, if you saw the last episode, or maybe you didn't, we won our fourth consecutive Super Bowl. In this episode, we're getting to the draft. It's a star-studded class. There's a lot of good players that we're going to target, and I'm going to walk through some of them right now. All right, so here in this year's draft, we're going to be targeting roughly 15 prospects that we absolutely want. Top of the list is this guy right here, Juwan Burnett, 21 years old, out of Ohio State. Seems to be tight end U in this simulation. Great ratings, grades out really well physically, absolutely destroyed the combine. While we don't, we have our number one tight end, we think that adding him to this team is just going to make us that much more dynamic on offense. Trying to cover two very large, very fast tight ends, that's going to be a challenge for any defense. Next, we have George Rushing, 22-year-old out of North Dakota. Pretty decent ratings there, but also grades out extremely well at the combine. Elite throw power, elite speed, very quick, great acceleration, absolutely destroyed the combine. I mean, a quarterback running a 4.39, 4.36, I mean, that's Lamar Jackson-esque, right? Like, can't pass this guy up. So we're going to take him early in the first. We don't need a quarterback or even a backup quarterback, much less. But never hurts to have talent like this, and we can certainly always flip them in later years for more draft capital. Number 3 on our board is Joshua Bostic, left tackle out of Ohio State. He's 21 years old. Ratings are a bit, unclear at this point, but I suspect he's going to do very well. Also, grades off the charts physically. Moves very well. Great strength. Very much looking to add him to our O-line depth, and probably will end up moving our backup left tackle. Okay, after those three, we have a bit of a gap here. We do want to take Danny Chase on. Obviously, it's weird to take two tight ends this early in the draft. It's also odd that, they're both from Ohio State, but that's just how the cookie crumbles this year. 22 years old, like I said, Ohio State, very good ratings. Also grades off the charts in terms of his physical game. So looking to add him for some depth, and we will probably move our current backup. So we'll have, Eric Gilbert, who was an absolute stud last season, and then we'll have Burnett and Chase on at the 2 and 3 tight end slots. Another guy we're looking to target is Davion McCullers, cornerback out of Florida, 22 years old, pretty good ratings. And again, if you're noticing a trend, guys who grade off the charts physically, I'm very interested in. In my view, in Madden, you can teach the skill, you can upgrade the skills much easier than you can upgrade their speed, acceleration, their raw sort of physical ability. And this guy, this guy's a no-brainer. 6 foot, 22 years old, elite speed. Looks like he's going to be a great piece for our defense. And then next here, right after, Caleb Arthur, right tackle out of South Carolina, 21 years old. Pretty good ratings, or at least it seems. Pass blocking isn't great, but that's all right because we're adding him for depth. And again, grades off the charts here. Elite, great. Very good. Looking forward to adding him. We'll likely trade our backup right tackle once we draft him. We are going to look at Patrick Hodges here. We're probably not going to take him until late in the first. We'll just have to kind of see how the draft plays out. But 22 years old, decent size, okay ratings, but does very well physically. And again, especially with running backs, if you're giving a guy with great speed the ball, I mean, he's just naturally going to end up being better over time. So that's why he's sort of the target. We don't even need a running back. We have, obviously Saquon starting, who continues to set records year after year, is now third in the all-time rushing touchdowns leaderboard. And then we got Jahmyr Gibbs as the backup. And we actually signed this offseason Zach Evans to a 1-year contract. So we have plenty of depth at running back, but if we like sort of where he's at in the draft, I'm not going to pass up this sort of speed. And now we take ourselves to Trevor Lewis. I'm very, very excited about this guy. He's 6'1", 190 out of North Carolina, 21 years old. Doesn't have great ratings, but again, the physical ability is there. Running a 4.24, that's insane, especially at 6'1". So we're definitely looking to add this guy and at least get him as a punt returner, kick returner, things like that early in his career, and then hopefully develops there into a decent option. Next on my big board is DeAndre McCray. So he's a left end right now, 22 years old. Doesn't look to have great ratings. But what I'm planning to do is actually move him to defensive tackle. So I think that with his sort of defensive end ratings here, great speed, great acceleration, good agility, I think by moving into defensive tackle, it's only going to highlight sort of those areas where he needs it. Obviously the strength may be a problem, but I'm confident that, that's the right move for this guy, and it will help us add some depth. So Keenan Hayward, right outside linebacker, 21 years old at the USF. Looks to have potentially pretty good set of ratings, and then grades out pretty well physically. So again, don't really need this guy a ton, but I think we're probably going to take him just because we have a plethora of, first, early, second round picks. If you've been a fan of the series at all, I know I haven't posted them all on YouTube, and I'm not going to post the first few seasons. I just don't have the video for it anymore. I have been streaming from time to time those seasons, but I have built draft capital pretty consistently over the course of the years. In year one, we absolutely tanked. Sold off basically every asset we could to accumulate as many draft picks as possible. That sort of set the foundation for where we are today. That's how we got Bryce Young. That's how we got Will Anderson. So many other players we got that year. Really set the foundation up for what this team has become. And so, if you're curious why I have so many first round, second round picks, etc., it's just a accumulation over years of making good sort of transactions and decisions. Cornerback Deontay Tompkins out of Auburn, 22 years old, pretty good ratings here for a rookie corner, and grades out very well in terms of his ratings. Obviously the agility leaves a little bit more to be desired, but that kind of speed, change of direction, jumping, if we can sort of upgrade his agility and acceleration here over the first couple years, looks like he'll be a pretty solid slot corner. And then lastly, the two I'm going to highlight is this center right here. 3rd to 4th round projection, 22 years old out of Oklahoma. Looks to have pretty great ratings. And my goodness, the physicals are off the charts for a 3rd or 4th round pick. So we're definitely going to add him, make him our backup center, get rid of our current backup center this offseason. And then similar story here for Raphael Edwards, left outside linebacker at Oklahoma State, 21 years old. No clue what his ratings are, but as I'm sure you could guess, grades off the charts in terms of his physical ability. So that's really the crux of what we're targeting here. There may be a couple others that pop into our sort of plan here, depending on how the draft goes and how many trades I can ultimately make to get out of this year and into next year, because like I said, we don't have a lot of needs this year, And with that, we are going to get into the draft. So here we go. 2027 NFL Draft. Let's get into it. All right. So as again, you're probably like, holy hell, how do you get the first 5 picks? Again, it's just being able to make moves and accumulate picks over time. Um, Usually before contract expires, I'll trade them because if I know I don't want to re-sign them, why would I lose them for nothing when I can actually get something for them? So here we go. We're gonna pick our first 3 selections. We're gonna make sure we lock in these top 3 players we want. So first, I know it's crazy. You're probably flabbergasted, but we're taking Juwan Burnett first overall. Never happened for a tight end. This guy warrants it. We're doing it. No idea what his overall is, but look at that. I mean, the speed, the strength, the jumping, the agility, the acceleration, all insane. That is insane. I can't wait to see what his overall is. I'm expecting it to probably be almost mid-80s, if I had to be honest. All right, so our first pick is in. Now we're up on the clock again. We're gonna make this selection, pick player. And this time we are going to pick George Rushing. '90 acceleration, 90 agility, 90 change of direction, 94 speed, and 94 throw power. This guy looks crazy. And of course, we are back on the clock again. So what we're going to do, we're going to take Joshua Bostic, the left tackle out of Ohio State. Again, you just can't deny this. You just can't. I'm a sucker for physical specimens. All right. 75 speed, 89 strength, 85 acceleration, 72 agility. That's pretty solid for a left tackle. We are happy with that. All 3 of those players all had hidden dev traits, which means they're at least star development. That is absolutely what we want. Hopefully there's a couple X factors in there, or at least, superstars. All right, let's trade away the pick. Let's review offers. Ideally, we want to get as much draft capital as possible without moving too far down. Bills are the... Yeah, I think we're going to take this. All right. Now, we are going to watch some of these computer picks, at least for the first round. I am curious to see sort of who they take. Hopefully, they don't take any of my players. I'll be pissed. And then I'll just have to trade for them. All right, so they take Jeff Rhodes. He was technically the #1 cornerback in the draft based on that, big board. But he didn't measure super well, and frankly, I just thought that it was a little high to take a corner that I wasn't in love with. So again, we're going to trade out of this pick. I am more than comfortable sticking with our #9 overall selection to take that right tackle, Caleb Arthur. And so we're going to look at more offers. I think we're going to have to go with the Bengals, because they got the highest pick this year, and who the hell knows what's going to happen next year. All right, so they take a defensive end out of Miami. I'm sure they're hoping he can get to Bryce Young in next year's Super Bowl if they make it. Now the Rams are on the clock. They take Taylor Meadows, defensive end out of Buffalo. I did like him a lot. He just, when push comes to shove, I can only pick so many players and not be in salary cap hell. So, you know, he's just one of those that I decided wasn't worth it. Now we got the Broncos. Broncos take Nick McCain. Not the right tackle that we were looking to take, so that is good news. Let's see what the Jags take. All right, they take Charles Burton. So he was not on our board either. Again, he was somebody that I looked at, but again, not a position in need, and when push came to shove, just decided to prioritize elsewhere. All right, so we are going to take this pick. Yeah, we're definitely doing it. All right, 73 speed, 89 strength, 84 acceleration, 75 agility. Hidden dev trait. That's what we want to see. So far, we're 4 for 4 on the hidden dev traits. And now we're going to see who the 49ers pick. No! No! They took my corner. Oh, we're going to have to trade for him. I'm not taking my corner. That's where I put my foot down. Alright, so looks like with this pick, we're going to take that other tight end. Alright, 89 speed, 91 acceleration, 83 agility. Again, another hidden dev trait. I'm very excited to sort of see how these players pan out after the first season. Alright, let's see who the Panthers take. Alright, so they take a cornerback out of Texas, Cumberland. He was definitely on my radar, but again, McCullers was the one I wanted, so we're gonna make that trade happen after the draft. Gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, and then they take a defensive end out of Florida. So I'm actually gonna trade out of this pick. I think I'm gonna go with this. Except that's probably I imagine that has to be my draft pick. Next year, the 32nd. So it's like, do I really even want that back? Not really. So I very much intend on winning another Super Bowl. But, you know, it is 2 first-round picks, so I think we are going to accept it. Alright, so they take a running back out of Texas. That guy was not even remotely on my radar. Just probably didn't have the physical traits. Marshall Duckworth, right end out of Notre Dame. Definitely wasn't, at the very least, isn't a guy I remember wanting, even in the slightest. So no complaints here. Looks like a good decision thus far to trade back to where we did. Defensive end out of Ohio State. Another one that, just I was not interested in taking. All right, now the wide receivers are getting ready to go, so I'm going to have to take Trevor Lewis here in a minute. All right, so they take a quarterback out of Jackson State. Great news for us. That means our guy is still available. Another hidden dev trait, 99 speed, 97 acceleration, 95 agility, 93 change of direction, 91 jumping. I mean, my goodness. If this guy doesn't remind you of OBJ, but a couple inches taller, I don't know who does. I'm very, very excited about this guy. Another hidden dev trait, so that's, I think, 5 for 5 now. 6 for 6, maybe? It's hard to even remember. We're having a great draft. All right, so we are back on the clock here. We got the next, 6 picks. Good lord. We're definitely going to trade out of these. But we're going to look at offers for this, so let's see what folks are proposing. I think we're going to take this offer from the Patriots. The reason being, it's only 1 pick. Sometimes that's good because it means that, I'm not going to get overloaded with picks for future years or even this year and then not be able to trade and have to do everything manually. So I think just for the sake of convenience and the fact that, they're at least projected to not have a great pick, we're just going to take it. And they took the guy I wanted. Gotta love that. That adds insult to injury. So it's possible we don't make a trade for him. I guess we will take a look after all is said and done and see see if he's worth trading for, but I think I'm comfortable enough with who we have at defensive tackle and who we are going to target later in the draft to where we possibly don't even need him. So with that in mind, I think we're going to trade out of this. All right, I think I'm going to take this. I don't know why. Only 2 picks, but looks good, and, you know, I'm not really sweating it at this point. I got way too many picks. Yeah, see? I'm already in trade hell. Yeah, I like this. I like the stonk. Alright, good enough. Again, I'm in pick hell, so I'm just trying to dump some, so I'm not in salary cap hell. I'd rather be in pick hell than salary cap hell, for sure. I don't want to have to cut people, eat all that dead cap. You know how it goes. Alright, they took a corner out of Penn State. Was not interested in him. We're trading this again. Hopefully now we can actually just pick a trade. We are taking Washington's trade. First round pick next year. Alright, so they took the center out of Miami. He was definitely on my radar, but given Braxton Donnelly, the center who's projected to go in the 3rd or 4th round, I wasn't really sweating a center in the first. Really, the only benefit would have been the 5th-year option, but he doesn't even grade as well as the other guy. All right, so I think we're probably gonna, man, let's just trade this pick. Who cares? Yeah, we're taking this. 1st and 2nd this year, which is going to be helpful. And I think I'll be able to accept this. Yes. We're only targeting 2 more players here before the 2nd round, and that was not one of them. We're going to trade this. See if we can do that. Chiefs. Damn it. Alright, so we're going to go trade with the Chiefs. Yes, I am fully aware that this is giving away picks. Draft capital, don't care, just need to clear some, because otherwise, again, I'm going to get stuck with way too many picks. I also am going to have to accumulate more picks following this draft for the players that I'm replacing with, you know, players that I select. I'm replacing people I currently have, so this is just nature of the beast. Some of the teams just get lucky, and that is okay with me. Alright, so they take the left tackle out of Oklahoma. He was definitely on the big board, but just nowhere as close to the level that I liked Joshua Bostic. Though I will say he was pretty close. He was like 1A, 1B, but you know, again, I just fell in love with Bostic. 21 years old, linebacker out of USF. All right, so again, not a bad pick. 84 speed, 84 agility, 88 acceleration. Not amazing, you know. We sort of like our linebackers in the 86 to 88 range. But you know, hopefully that's something that would improve over the years, at least marginally. But again, another hidden dev trait. Can't ask for much more than that. So it looks like the Ravens took McMillan out of Miami. Wasn't on our radar. They take Zach Gilmore, left tackle out of Washington. Now we're coming up to our last picks in the 1st round. They take Clifton Sample, defensive end out of LSU, and that is where we are going to take Hodges. So again, pretty good pick here. 93 speed, 92 agility, 93 acceleration. Our first bronze dev trait, but we are okay with that. I mean, you know, you're not going to get a hidden dev trait for all of them. And again, this guy's raw, so he's just somebody that we sort of wanted to accumulate and build over time. Now, next, I might actually reach for somebody. He's not projected to go until much later, but again, I sort of want to get that 5th-year option on him, especially since we lost out on that other corner. And so we are going to take Deontay Thompkins here. 6'1 corner. Out of Auburn, 22 years old, pretty good ratings, and grades out really well physically. Again, agility leaves a little bit to be desired, but we're still excited, and reasonably so. So another hidden depth trait, 95 speed, 92 acceleration, 86 agility. You know, we'll want that to improve, and then 95 change of direction and 92 jumping. So pretty solid corner there. And again, we got that 5th-year option by taking him in the first round. I know that, you know, the game doesn't do that. I sort of build it into it to my franchise and how I want to run it, just because it makes it more realistic. Yeah, I think we're just going to trade here. I think we're going to take the Browns. Ugh. I have to do a manual trade. So we're giving up a first this year for a first next year. And then we're giving them a 3rd round pick next year to trade up from 62 to 41. And more importantly, we're dumping more picks, which, as you can see on the left here, is increasing our cap room pretty consistently, which is great. Take Derek Lacey, right tackle out of Iowa State. And we're back to trading. Again, don't really care, giving away a lot of value there, but again, what is it to me? Nothing really, you know. We're going to end up doing the same drill next year, and we're going to keep stockpiling picks, etc. So, as far as I'm concerned, the more we can unload some bullshit picks, the better. At some point, we're going to have the whole first round. We're going to be trading first round picks for 3rd round picks straight up, just because, you know, we can, and we don't want to be stuck in salary cap hell. All right, let's see who they take at the end of the first round. This is the last pick. And they took the left outside linebacker out of Oregon. Oh, they took Terry. Wow. He was still on the board. So I think he was actually supposed to be like an early first round pick. All right, so yeah, we're trading this. Let's review some offers. I wonder if we can trade into the first round next year. Yeah, see, that's a relatively fair trade. We're gonna, you know, continue on this path of just getting rid of picks and moving down. This time we actually do need to move down into this draft. So that's something to keep in mind here. There we go. So again, that's our first round pick next year. So I fully intend to win another Super Bowl. So I don't really need that pick. It's essentially a 2nd round pick. And we're getting a first round pick in exchange for a team that is using Trey Lance. And in this simulation, he's not doing great. I mean, not that he's, you know, doing great in real life either, but that's sort of the rationale. Again, we're just trading down here. I think we're just gonna accept this. That's fine. I don't really care. All right, we're actually gonna take this pick. We're gonna take that defensive tackle that we've been watching. We missed out on that one that we were gonna move to defensive tackle, the one the Patriots took. So we definitely want to make sure that we fill that need. We only got 3 on the roster right now, and you know, while that's serviceable, you know, we want to sort of scour for some depth. You know, he may be somebody we end up putting on the practice squad, but you know, he's 21. Okay ratings, very underwhelming, frankly, but pretty good measurables. So I think we're just going to take him and you know, see how he pans out. Again, this isn't much of a shock. Bronze Dev, 77 speed, 87 strength. Those are pretty good for a D tackle, not amazing. Particularly the speed, not amazing. 81 acceleration, not amazing. And agility and change of direction are a little underwhelming, but you know, those are all things that we sort of expected with what he was showing us. I know it's a reach at this point. It was only late in the second round, but I am going to go ahead and take that center. I do not want to miss out on him because he just looks to be an absolute stud, even though he has a projection real late. But you know, let's see what happens. All right. So as I suspected, hidden dev trait, 73 speed, 86 acceleration, 73 agility, 92 strength. Very, very good for a center. And I'm expecting his overall to be pretty high relative to the rest of the class. All right, so we're gonna make our pick here. We're gonna take Raphael Edwards, the left outside linebacker. All right, so 21-year-old out of Oklahoma State. No idea what his ratings are, but I do know that he grades very well physically, and so for that reason, we're taking him. And another diamond, another hidden dev trait, diamond in the rough here in the third to fourth round. 84 speed, 91 agility, 91 acceleration, 77 change of direction. The speed is a little lower than we'd want, but you know, obviously we would expect that to improve at least a couple points here and there over the next couple years while he's on his rookie contract. But you know, very happy with this pick. Glad we got him. Here we are taking Josh Radley. He's a left guard. No idea whether he's going to be on the roster come the regular season. He may end up moving to the practice squad. We'll just have to see. But this is really the last guy that we were targeting who, you know, hasn't already been taken. Again, not great. Nothing really stands out as incredible. You know, pretty decent blocking there to start his career. And grades, you know, relatively okay physically. So we're going to take a shot and just sort of see where he ends up landing come regular season. You might be sick of hearing it already, but I'm certainly excited about it. Another hidden dev trait, 67 speed, 70 agility, 80 acceleration. The speed's a little low for where we want it. I like to call run plays where the guards pull, so it's always nice to have a guard who's a little bit faster than that, because otherwise it takes a while for them to actually get to where they're going. But again, very excited about this. He may just end up being a backup. We'll have to see sort of how he stacks up against our current backup. All right, I think this is our second to last pick. Yeah, possibly. We're gonna see what is out there. Right here, we're just looking for value. Nothing too crazy. Not a whole lot down here. Maybe this guy, but you know, we really don't want another center. He's just gonna end up going on the practice squad if I do take him. See, I can't pass that up. Look at this guy. I went from not really to absolutely in, you know, half a second. It's always a button click away. 21 years old, grades out extremely well. We gotta take him. And another hidden gem, another hidden dev trait. 68 speed, 74 agility, 82 acceleration. So again, I'm still happy that we got the other guy. He's definitely going to be the backup. This guy's going to be on the practice squad. Love the depth here. We're going to trade down. We're going to take both of the guys I want. Let's see what we can get. We need this pick in exchange for two 2027 picks. I think we're going to do the Bengals. Again, no particular reason other than, you know, they actually give me good competition, so it's like a friendly reward. And Chris Cheeks is not there. Love to see that. But The other guy that we wanted to take was Christopher Chambers. 21, fast as all hell. Let's see what he has. Wow, so another hidden dev trait, 97 speed, 89 agility, not great. 86 change of direction, not great, but 96 acceleration. And this is our last pick of the draft. So we're just going to see who's still there. Got a couple players we want to check out once this is all said and done. See, this guy, he has awful ratings. Like, if you got D's, 23 years old, and you're just average, like, you're trash. And this is the only one left. Let's see what his deal is. 23. Ugh. He's fast. Screw it. Yeah, not as good as the other one. We'll get rid of this guy. So let's see how we did, and we'll compare against the rest of the NFL. So Jawan Barnett, absolutely incredible. 80 overall. Was definitely expecting it to be a little bit higher. George rushing. Bostic. Wow, Bostic is not as high as I was expecting. But he's got raw talent, man. He's going to be a guy. Right tackle, same deal with him. Wow, Hodge is actually 78. Tompkins, pretty solid. Yeah, see, he's gone. Now let's see who we, well, I guess let's go see the league. Who had the highest overall? Wow. So Burnett did. McCullers had a 79. That's one of the corners. It's probably the only guy I'm going to end up trading for. Jeff Rhodes. So a lot of these guys are our guys, which is always good. All right, well, that's going to do it for the draft. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode.